On this episode of Project 1114, we're pretty much going to start the process of what every Galant VR-4 owner should go through, getting their car up to speed. Tune in. Welcome back to the Auto Obsessive Garage. Chadwick with you again to another installment of Project 1114. First and foremost, guys, I just want to say, please make sure you're being safe out there. There's a lot of crazy stuff going on in the world, so be safe and take care of one another. That's a big thing. Second big thing is something I'm super thankful for. We've had a lot of new subscribers to the channel, and I really appreciate that. We're a super low budget operation here, and it's just fun stuff. I'm doing this just for the fun of doing it, and it's cool sharing these cars. I try to keep interesting stuff coming in the garage, and I am a one-man operation, so I just try to bring you guys cool stuff, and I really appreciate it. All the conversations that you guys share the interest with the same kind of crappy cars that I enjoy. I'm trying to get in the garage more. Obviously I love it in here. This is my zen zone. This is where I come to actually just enjoy life. But hey, I'm glad you guys are checking out the content. Share it with your friends if you have car buddies that are into really weird stuff too, or watching some idiot partially wrench on a car while not messing up too many things. And I try to put a lot of effort into my reviews too. So again, don't want to waste too much time talking about it, but I really do appreciate it to all the new fans and my old fans out there that have been with it from the beginning. So yeah, tell your friends. I'd love to see the channel grow. It's super fun, trust me. It's super fun making this content. And I hope it inspires you guys to work on your vehicles, or check out some of these cars I'm working on, or if you own one, to kind of walk you through what I'm going through. Because a lot of these things, there's not a lot of instruction out there. So hey, that's all I got for that. Anyway, what's on today's episode? Well, we're back under the hood of our 91 Galant VR-4, and I want to take you step by step kind of what you should do. If you purchase one of these cars, it's a 30-year-old car, what kind of neglect, what kind of maintenance are we behind on? That's what we're focusing on today. Super simple. Yes, it parallels with my other Galant VR-4 that I'm currently working on, but this one's probably going to be more thorough because it needs a lot more under the hood. So we're going to go through it starting off. The first thing we're gonna do is clean, and I know every car that comes in here. What you guys don't see is the hundreds of hours of cleaning that have accumulated over the past, 2 decades or more since I've been working on cars like this. But honestly, it's a big step. It's really important. You wanna have everything clean so you're touching everything and not getting completely greased up every time. And on top of that, you can see where your leaks and see where your issues are. So we'll do some cleaning. I'll try to make it really abridged. It's a necessary task, trust me. So we're also going to do a boost leak test, which I don't care what you think about your Galant VR-4. I don't care if you think it's the most pristine thing in the world. They never are. But do a boost leak test. You'd be shocked. Even the smallest boost leak has the greatest opportunity to become a massive boost leak, and these cars do not handle those well. Any boost leak in this system can throw off any kind of drivability that you could ever hope for. So do the boost leak test. You owe it to yourself and the car. Now for the chit chat, guys. Let's get in there, turn some wrenches, clean some stuff, and just get working on Project 1114. Oh, I love this car. It's so cool having a stock Galant VR-4. Didn't even know they existed in the wild, and now I got 2 in the garage. But this one's gonna be a peach, so let's get cranking. All right, guys, let's do it. All right, time to pull this intake out of here, and then we'll have access to the side of the engine and we can really get in there and clean. We'll also be able to perform that boost leak test. So let's go ahead and pull this. Go. We're going to be replacing this old battery anyway, so let's go ahead and pull it out of here. Let's the anchor out. Alright, same scenario as before, super dirty down in here. Definitely some rust where all the water and stuff comes up, just surface rust, nothing to be freaked out about. But just like we did on the other Galant VR-4 and any other VR-4, this design is just conducive for body rust. So we'll pull this plastic tray out and you'll see what I'm talking about down there. Pretty much the exact same situation. So you're going to find this on any Galant VR-4 you do. This is a standard option that comes to you free of charge. No, but seriously, that has to do with the holes in the chassis. Water over time just gets under there, gets perfectly trapped below this plastic, and creates a perfect situation where water can pool right under the battery and just kind of corrodes down there. So we're going to touch it up just like we did with the other one. It's not a bad idea to do this. And this will preserve it too, because it could eventually become rust, I guess, down the line. Fun observation here, the 91s appear to have battery trays the color of the body of the car. That's pretty neat. In my 92, the battery tray was black. So I guess that's another way you can tell the difference between the years if you pull the battery out. Pretty cool. Learn something new every day. Oh yeah. So you can see, yeah, pretty crusty down there. We'll clean that up just like we did with the other one and just get all the surface corrosion crud out of here. Prime it, paint it up, get that rust out of here. All right, let's go ahead and get this air filter out of here. A lot easier with it out of the car for sure. Be careful with the math. You don't want to ding up the honeycomb at all. So just set it down, nice and easy. Try not to touch it. It's actually really easy to bend those fins. And we'll pull out our pretty pink filter. So it looks like it was changed at one point. A little bit of debris here and there. That's where the intake, the fresh air comes in. You can see it gets a little dirty, gets a little more debris in there. So let's go ahead and swap this out with a fresh one. Now if you want, you can clean your mass airflow sensor at this time if you're so inclined. I'm not going to do it. The car's not having any running issues and rather not mess anything up if it's already good, right? Here's our new Wix air filter we're going to be throwing in here. So some things to pay attention to are these little tabs here on the outside. If you look at this, there's a little place for that tab to go on the rear side of the intake and also on the front section here. So line those tabs up. It only fits one way over the MAF anyway, but then you want to ensure those all line up. Might have to move it around quite a bit to get it perfect. There we go, new air filter. Let's go check out that Mitsubishi 14B turbo down in there. There you go, you can see it all illuminated. So what we're gonna do next is slide our boost leak tester over that, and that should let us know if we have any boost leaks in the system. Hopefully we don't have a BIS screw leak or a throttle body screw leak or an intake manifold or anything that's gonna require us to really get in there. But it's always a good thing to do, especially if you have the car parked for cleaning anyway. God, you gotta run a boost leak test. These things are very susceptible to them. 30-year-old car, lots of vacuum lines, lots of opportunities. So, turbo looks so shiny and brand new, but it's just because I cleaned it up. Can you see it through there too? Oh yeah, look at that. You see that little 14B hiding back there. So let's go ahead and look up our boost leak tester. If you want to see how to make that, I kind of describe it in the other video. Definitely check out my other Galant VR-4 restoration build. But yeah, let's slide it on here, pressurize it with my compressor, and see where we stand. And in case you're wondering, this is a boost leak tester. So if you hear me talking about that, that's what it is. Simply a piece of PVC piping with hose clamps and a nozzle so you can attach air pressure. So we're gonna slide this right over the turbo, pressurize the system, probably to 15 PSI, and look for air leaks. Now you can listen, a lot of folks do it that way, but I like to spray with soapy water and watch for bubbles. Super easy, very guaranteed way to really expose any boost leaks you have in your system. So let's go ahead, put this on the turbo, tighten it down, and we'll pressurize the system. Pause here, so you can see down in there, boost leak tester onto the turbo. So right here at the end where we got the nipple, a whole bunch of junk in the way. Let's go ahead, hook it up, pressurize it, and then we'll spray and look for bubbles. You think I'm unfair by going straight to the BIS, which is located here,
but this is one of the most common leak areas on these cars, as are these throttle bodies and intake manifolds. I've seen them leak too. So we're just going to focus on this area. Let's go ahead and spray it down first, then we'll pressurize the system. Nothing fancy here, just good old soapy water. Give everything a good liberal spraying. Let's go ahead and attach our air source. Oh yeah, look at that. Guys seeing that? Yeah, look at that bis. No leaks my butt. Look at that. Nowhere as bad as on my 92, but there it is just about every time, so you know what that means. Now, I don't see anything. Let me go ahead and hose it down and try again. But I don't see anything around the throttle body gaskets, so we could probably get away with not replacing those at this time. And we don't need, like I said, to remove too much. We can just pull the bis screw out and put a new O-ring on it, and that should take care of that. Especially at the bis, it does not need to be a super significant leak to cause idle issues, surge. I did notice slight surge with this car, but not like my other one. So let's go ahead and let's replace that bis O-ring. And I've seen it where the O-ring deteriorates or a chunk falls off of it, or it's so hard that it shrunk over time. And that causes air to pass it. We don't need any air. I mean, that's setting the idle, right? So any air leaking there is very critical to how this car is going to maintain its idle, how it's going to monitor the amount of air actually getting through. It's one of the worst places to have a vacuum leak, to tell you the truth. And you want to use a magnetic tool and kind of pull the bis out. There we go. There's our bis screw out of the car. You can see the O-ring is still there, but hard as a rock, I'm sure. So we'll go ahead and break that one off, because that's pretty much how they come off. And we'll slide a new one on there, and that should take care of that vacuum leak. Alright, here's our bis, nice and cleaned up. And you can see the new O-ring on there. You can see the O-ring sticks out a little bit beyond the silhouette of the bis, and that's what it should be doing. It's going to block that air that gets past this. So this should take care of it. Let's go ahead, tighten her back down, and do another boost leak test. Okay, with that boost leak resolved, let's get back to our obsessive cleaning. We have better access without the intake or battery to the side of the engine, where it is just atrociously bad. Tons of oil just cascaded down the whole side of the engine. Hard to pick up here, but I assure you, you come in here and you're like, okay, things don't look horrible. And then I take a flashlight and do this. Yeah, look at that. That is an oil slick and a half, just going right down the whole side of the engine there. All back in there too. It's just gnarly. We got to get in there and clean that off. Obviously it's valve cover, and it looks like whoever did the valve cover last did a pretty questionable job. Look at all that delicious gasket maker squeezing out there. Boy, it's disgusting. Look at that. It's just shiny, so it means it's still actively leaking. So let's go ahead, clean that up, and then we'll actually start working on this engine. We got a lot to do. You know, like I said, I feel like the turbo's down on power, so we're going to start by taking off the intercooler pipe here. Heat shield. I guess I can stop pointing with the flashlight. Take off the heat shield. We'll inspect the exhaust manifold with it on the car. We'll also, you know, obviously lift the car up, get under there, look to see how the exhaust manifold looks. We might have to pull it off if there's any issues, and I definitely want to pull off the turbo, look at the housing, check the wastegate area. Those are prone to crack, so just see what's going on there. We're really going to get into this one pretty good, but we want to clean it all up, and the reason being is I don't want to get so filthy every time I go down there to do something. And if something new starts leaking or anything's leaking actively, I want to see where that fresh leak is coming from. So that's the madness behind my obsessive behavior with this kind of stuff. But hey man, when you're restoring a car back, you don't want to, you know, do all this work, put it back together, and skip important things. You know, peace of mind. So let's go ahead, clean it up thoroughly for what we have access to, and then we'll start taking the front of the turbo area apart.